Hey there folks, Sparrows here, and our last video on turning the crystal gems into competitive Pokemon did fairly well, so let's tackle the Diamond Authority this time. If this one does well, our next installment will be taking a look at the fusion scene in the Steven Universe series. So be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video if you want to see a part 3. Now on to the Diamond Authority. Last time we looked at the crystal gems as if they were Pokemon starters. In this video, we're going to treat the all-powerful Space Overlords as if they are box art legendaries. This means the base stat totals of these characters will fall around the 670 point range. For you Smogon players, that's an immediate ban to Ubers, so don't be surprised when the stats you see make you go, whoa, that's an OP rock lady. Now before we get into the Diamond Authority proper, let's do a quick little update to the last video and talk about Steven's new corrupt form seen in the series finale. I use the term corrupted loosely because it's fairly debatable as to whether he was actually corrupted or if this is just an extension of his gem projection abilities. I lean towards this kaiju not actually being a corrupted gem, but once again, that's neither here nor there. On the last video, I got some comments about making Pink Steven just a standard evolution of Child Steven, and then having Monster Steven be a mega evolution of Pink Steven. At first I was thinking, nah, that boy is Gigantamax if I have ever seen one. But frankly, I am not a fan of Gigantamax, which I don't think is a controversial opinion at all. In terms of this series though, mechanically, Gigantamax just doesn't do anything interesting from a design perspective. Sure, he gets a boost in hit points and maybe a signature move, but it's not as fun as a new stat spread, typing, and ability. Ultimately, I think this series is more about fitting Steven Universe into the established toolbox of Pokemon games, and creating a new move for a Gigantamax Steven is the opposite. It's adjusting the Pokemon games to reflect Steven Universe. I do have another series called Attack Alchemy if you're interested in seeing what sort of moves I would concoct if I was concocting Pokemon moves, but that's not for this series. For now, we're just going to stick to Pokemon's actual game system. So, what that means is I'm going to treat Monster Steven as a separate Mega Evolution to Pink Steven. Think of it as Charizard X versus Charizard Y. It's not a perfect reflection of the show, but I think it's one that we can work with, and at the end of the day, both forms are manifestations of the same aspect of Steven's powers. They're both external projections of how he feels internally, so I think they both work as megas. But that said, like the diamonds, we are aiming straight for Ubers with this wormy boy. The normal rock-based version of Steven becomes Dragon Rock upon Mega Evolving. Not only is he a massive lizard-like monster, but his weakness is hugs. That's a fairy-type weakness, y'all. Like all Mega Evolutions, Corrupt Steven only gets a 100 base stat point boost. But there are ways to ensure that this necky boy gets the overpowered vibes seen in the show. Also, as a quick reminder, this Mega Evolution can activate after Steven already abuses Rock Polish, Growth, or Shell Smash with the simple ability of his base form, meaning that it can be exponentially more powerful than what it appears at face value. Steven's already busted, but we're gonna push it. To give us a little extra wiggle room, Corrupt Steven becomes slower and more lumbering than his base form. This gives us 100 extra stat points to redistribute across his attack stats. His physical jumps up to 95 and his special attack becomes 75. These may seem low, but hold on that thought. To make up for his lackluster hit point stat, which cannot be inflated by Mega Evolution, Steven's gonna get a sizable boost to his defenses, bringing him closer to the unstoppable force we see in the finale. But to turn Corrupt Steven into a completely busted Ubers material Pokemon, we're giving him huge power. This ability doubles his attack stat, essentially turning him into a 190 base attack monster. For attacks, I'm not giving him anything new or different from the last video. Steven already has an incredible range of tools in his move pool, and with huge power, anything else is just overkill. I do like that he only gets Dragon Stab from Outrage, as I think it's fitting considering that he's on this rampage in I Am a Monster, and it locks him into an attack that ends in self-confusion. Not only does this help give any opponent a slight window to counter him, but it's true to his emotional state in this form. Now let's move on to the Diamond Authority. Starting with Blue. Thanks to her emotionally manipulative powers, she's a rock, psychic, specially defensive wall. With overall high defenses to break and 140 special attack, Blue Diamond has both a long-lasting field presence and the power to make whole teams weep. Of all the diamonds, Blue is the slowest, due to her depressed and sluggish nature. Like a great deal of legendary Pokemon, Blue's primary ability is Pressure. While not super flashy, Pressure represents the overwhelming nature of standing in Blue's presence. With Pressure, opponents burn through their power points twice as quickly, reducing their options of dealing with Blue and bringing them even closer to struggling. Blue's hidden ability is Liquid Voice. This ability turns all sound-based attacks that Blue uses into water-typed attacks. Finding the right water-based ability for Blue was a little difficult for me. Her psychic powers all have an aquatic motif, but she never actually controls water outside of making others cry, which is why I leaned towards psychic. Still, I wanted to honor this core part of her identity. Blue also happens to be voiced by Irish singer Lisa Hannigan, and because of this she gets a handful of musical numbers. So while Liquid Voice is a little lackluster of an ability, I think it hits the right note. On the plus side, sound-based moves bypass substitute, so this gives Blue a unique tool for water coverage and Boom Burst. All the diamonds will get access to Diance's signature attack, Diamond Storm, which particularly helps Blue tank hits. Power Gem, or the new move Meteor Beam, serves as her go-to rock stab. For her psychic stab, Blue steals the signature attack of the Laddie duo, with Luster Purge and Mist Ball, as she uses very similar attacks in the show. She also gets Psychic, which is a little boring, but has a little bit more bite to it. For coverage, she gets Sparkling Aria, Boom Burst, Dark Pulse, Hyper Voice, Dragon Pulse, and Air Slash. She'll also get to take advantage of moves like Calm Mind, Fake Tears, Yawn, Sing, Toxic Rest, Stealth Rocks, Defog, and Amnesia. The next gem we're looking at is Yellow Diamond, the militaristic strategist of the Diamond's army. With her supercharged powers, Yellow Diamond is a rock electric type that throws the gauntlet down hard on anyone that opposes her. With 115 speed points, 150 special attack, and 115 physical attack, Yellow hits fast and hard. Her defenses are good, but nothing special for Ubers. Like Blue, Yellow's primary ability represents her sheer presence. Intimidate lowers the attack of her opponents by 1 stage when she steps onto the field. This leaves her enemies shaking in their boots and gives Yellow a tool to put a stop to offensive threats. Her hidden ability is Mold Breaker, which allows her to ignore the abilities of others, making her Thunderbolts hit Volt Absorb users and Earthquakes hit Levitators. Essentially, Mold Breaker is supposed to be the perfect representation of her power breaking the strategies of anyone that challenges her. In addition to getting standard rock and electric moves, Yellow Diamond gets Dark Pulse, Superpower, Play Rough, Smart Strike, Power Up Punch, and Earthquake for coverage. In terms of support, Yellow gets both Nasty Plot, Swords Dance, Bulk Up, and Growth, giving her the option to go physical, special, or mixed. She also gets Taunt to prevent shenanigans from her adversaries. Let's move on to Pink Diamond now, who we obviously will be giving 2 separate forms, following in the tradition of Pokemon like Landorus and Urshifu. These forms, Pink Diamond and Rose Quartz, are both rock fairy typing, but have different stats, abilities, and slightly different move pools, but we'll touch on that as we go. Pink Diamond is sort of the inverse of Yellow Diamond. Pink can also make for a fast, mixed attacker, but unlike Yellow, her spread leans more towards physical than special. Pink's primary ability is Pixelate, which was super popular with fairy types back in Generation 6. Pixelate turns all normal moves into fairy type moves and boosts their damage by 20%. Like Blue Diamond's Liquid Voice, this gives Pink the ability to take advantage of sound-based moves, Hyper Voice, and Boom Burst. Pink's hidden ability is Dazzling, the signature ability of Bruxish, which prevents her from being hit by priority moves and is great for keeping bullet punches from dealing 4 times super effective damage to her. Pink Diamond gets access to the same rock moves as their sisters, and also Play Rough and Moonblast for her fairy-type stab. For coverage, Pink gets Thunderbolt, Energy Ball, Giga Drain, Trop Kick, Drain Punch, Heart Stamp, U-Turn, and Power Up Punch. To mirror Steven's Shell Smash access, Pink gets the more controlled stat-boosting Geomancy, which greatly boosts her speed and her special stats. Finally, I'm going to give Pink Parting Shot to represent her fleeing the Diamond Authority, and as a result, that crippling their imperial takeover of the galaxy. As I said before, Pink Diamond gets a set of moves exclusive to this particular form. Those moves are Outrage, Facade, and Boom Burst. All of these moves play to Pink Diamond's unchecked power and festering frustrations. Try to say that 10 times fast. Festering frustration. And now let's look at Rose Quartz's form. This form takes a drop in pure physical strength, instead developing a more defensive presence. Instead of Pixelate, Rose Quartz gets the ability Defiant, a clear reference to her leading the Gem Rebellion. Defiant also positively plays off the other Diamond's abilities and moves, like Yellow Diamond's Intimidate or Blue's Luster Purge. Rose Quartz's hidden ability is Tangling Hair, a reference to her luscious pink locks. Like a Lowland Dugtrio, if a Pokemon makes contact with a Tangling Hair Rose Quartz, their speed is lowered by a single stage and thus reduces their sweeping potential. For the most part, Rose has the same moves as Pink Diamond, but her 3 exclusive moves are Secret Sword, Sacred Sword, and Leaf Blade, for obvious reasons. And this brings us all to White Diamond, who is quite literally the Necrozma of the bunch. Unlike all the other gems, White Diamond is pure rock type, as she's considered the purest gem of all. While she's represented with lots of light and energy motifs, I felt that psychic and fairy typing lend themselves more naturally to other gems. and I really think White Diamond needs to stand out on her own in terms of typing. I already know that this is a debatable decision, so I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below on this. As the Rayquaza, Zygarde, Necrozma, etc. of the Diamond Authority legendaries, White Diamond gets the benefit of having a massive base stat total of 700. Each of her stats pushes past the 110 point threshold, with her attack stats shining the brightest at 130. This makes her incredibly unpredictable as a physical, special, or mixed attacker. Like Yellow, White's standard ability is Intimidate, to reflect her striking presence. But the real gem, pun entirely intended, is White's hidden ability, Neuroforce. You'll know this as the signature ability of Necrozma. And this is where I felt like I could integrate aspects of her design that would traditionally fall under the Psychic umbrella in Pokemon. With Neuroforce, White Diamond does an extra 25% more damage when she attacks with a move that is super effective against her target. Not only does this mean anything weak to Rock type will crumble to Pebble throws by her, but it also gives her coverage moves an additional boost that will remove any possible counters. Obviously, White Diamond gets access to every Rock-type move under the sun, including Accelerock, because we've already hit Ubers, so, screw it. She's gonna just be priority murdering. In terms of her coverage, we got elemental attacks like Thunderbolt, Earthquake, Ice Beam, Energy Ball, Surf, and Fire Blast. She also gets Zen Headbutt, Psychic, Psyshock, Expanding Force, Knockoff, and Dragon Pulse. To boost herself up, she'll get Nasty Plot, Swords Dance, Calm Mind, and Rock Polish to make her even more threatening than she already is. Like Pink, White also gets access to Geomancy, making her truly one matriarch to be feared. Like, seriously, guys, she might be the OP'est of the OP, and only a shell-smashed Steven Universe stands in her way from taking over the whole galaxy. And that's it for Competitive Steven Universe Pokemon Part 2. Once again, I want to give this a Part 3 at some point, but only if this video gets decent views. So be sure to like and share. Also, let me know in the comments what you'd like to see in the future. I just became obsessed with Hamilton, so in my free time I was like, what if the Hamilton cast was competitive Pokemon? And actually, there's some interesting stuff that I came up with. So maybe that'll be a video. Anyways, as always, my name is Sparrows. Take care.